Oh my gosh. Like 10 minutes later than planned. I get it. 10 minutes later than planned, but bear with me. If you've been following any of my Instagram, you know that I'm in Rome. And then actually heading to, I think, where are we going tomorrow? Sorrento. My roommate's here for the week. She's great. We just toured around the Vatican all day. Your girl is tired. But I got a super awesome topic that I actually pre-planned before I left because I told you guys, I'm never going to miss out on a Monday Live. Never going to miss out on a Monday Live. But thanks for you guys coming on early because you guys are normally here at 2 and I'm totally jumping the gun and giving you this at 12:30, I think, your time. But here we are 6 hours ahead. So the team is actually leaving for dinner here in like an hour, I think. And so I wanted to make sure that we got this done. I don't want to say I want to get this done, but I want to make sure that I can give you guys all the tools that you need and not have you just waiting until maybe like Tuesday or Wednesday. Like let's bang this thing out. Let's have an amazing live. If you guys had an amazing weekend, I hope you did. If you did, give me some hearts, give me some likes, because I'm going to tell you what, even though we had I think it was an almost 9-hour flight? 9-hour flight?
Yeah.
We hopped off the bus when we landed, and we went straight to sightseeing because when we landed, when we got on the plane, it was a 9-hour flight, but we got on so late that like we were on that like the entire night. And then I think we arrived here somewhere around like 2:30 in the morning at home. So it was one of those things where like as soon as you get overseas, you have to be able to like get acclimated to the different time right away. So even though we all wanted to just like pass out and go to the hotel, we actually couldn't even get into our hotel until like 3 a.m. So we were sightseeing all day long and then ended up, I think, getting back to the hotel, I think at 3 or 4, and then we went out to dinner. Like, it's seriously one of those things where all of us are exhausted, but, dude, we are exploring the heck out of Rome. We're eating our way through Rome. I'm going to tell you, I've probably had more pasta and pizza than, like, I've ever had in the past year, but I'm telling you right now, they're, like... It's hard to just... I don't think I'm going to go home and get pasta or pizza probably for, like, months. Like, I think in order for me to step back into the U.S. and want a pizza, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do it unless I make it from scratch. Because the team, we actually made pizzas from scratch and pasta yesterday to where I was like, okay, if we can do this on our own, like, I don't think I'm going to go to any restaurants at home. I don't think I can do it. I'm going to have to make all this stuff by myself. But we've done a cooking class. We toured the Vatican today, which is like total bucket list. I just posted in the SMASHTRIBE about the pictures that I took there. That was absolutely amazing. So went to the Vatican today. I don't even know. How many steps did you take today? Do you have a watch? Oh, wait, you didn't wear it.
Let me check my phone.
Yeah, we took a lot of steps. Like, we toured that. We went to the Swiss National Guard, like the people that actually protect the Pope. They like toured us around like their little area, which was super rad. And then we saw, all of Michael, 11,000? That's it?
Yeah, I know.
I thought we had more than 11,000 steps, but we've taken 11,000 steps. We're still going to go to dinner later so that we have more time to add. But, whoa, Vatican was crazy. And that was total bucket list. Oh my gosh, we went to a mass there actually this morning. Which is super amazing. What else have we done? We did a cooking class. We did our little tour. Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna get tired of gelato, ever. I don't think I'm ever gonna get tired of gelato. I had pistachio and coffee flavored gelato today. I'm telling you what, stuff is the real deal. I'm gonna have to come here once a year. Like I don't think I can only come here like once in a lifetime. I'm gonna be back here next year. Mark my words. We're gonna be doing another live on a Monday, and I'm gonna be in Rome. That's just what's going to happen. That's how much I love it here. Okay, well, enough about the trip. I want to make sure that we get a good coaching live in today so we all can spend the rest of our Mondays shooting to get better at our game. So some of you are parents. Some of you are athletes. I don't know if any of the athletes are on here because you guys are probably all in school right now, but to all the parents that are here, y'all are amazing. Today's topic is basically for those people who have either felt this in the past or are feeling this right now, is the feeling of being stuck. The feeling of being, I'm not getting better at my game, what's going on type of feeling. I think we've all been there. Whether I was playing professionally, whether I was in college, whether I was playing, 8 years old, 12 years old, there's always a season of where I feel stuck. Like, I'm not getting better. Why am I not getting better? After, I just spent a whole week working on this specific skill. Like, I should be better at it by now. But having the patience and understanding of why you may not be moving the needle, even though you're trying to move the needle. So here's my idea with this. So, like, let's just call today's live, here's why you're not getting better right now. And some of these may not apply to you or your daughter at all. But I guarantee you that out of this list that I created, like, one of them is going to be something where you're just like, yep, that's us at this moment. And it's not to, like, make you feel bad about your game or where you're at, but it's about just checking in. I think doing mental check-ins once a week to see where we are with our game and see if we're progressing or where we're stagnant. Last month when I did we did mental coaching for the entire month. I set PDFs, and every time we checked into that PDF, which could have been, every day or every other day or however often you were prescribed to do it, we always checked in with our confidence level. And when I say check in, like, you should be checking in on all areas. Like, how's my hitting game today? How's my defending been? How is my confidence? I think confidence is something you should be checking in every single day to see, where am I at? Where am I at when it comes to, I always just rank it like 1 to 5. 1 is zero confidence at all. 5 is like so much confidence, like you just hit your first home run, you're feeling on cloud 9. That type of confidence. So a lot of times we want to try to figure out how we can get between like 3.5 and 4.5. We're like closer to the 4 over 4 as much as possible. And the more you check in with yourself, the more you can backtrack and be like, okay, if I'm at a 3, why am I at a 3? Okay, well, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I was super rude to my mom. I complained all morning. I went to school, don't like school. And then I showed up to practice and I'm a 3. I'm a 3, maybe a 2. Because, a lot of people think like their day is, if it starts out bad, it's going to continue to be bad. It normally is. So if we can start creating habits where we start our day on a high note, we start the day making our bed. I just talked to actually someone she's in 8th grade, and she's just like, what's the point of making your bed? So that you can accomplish something the first thing you do when you wake up. That's the point of making your bed. So you can start the day on a high note and continue that day on, so that it's not just about, like, that type of thing. Making your bed does give you confidence. So the fact that some people, they don't make their bed, that doesn't mean they're not confident people. That means you missed an opportunity to gain some confidence. So check in. Where is your confidence today? And a lot of times, if you're not feeling like you are where you want to be in this game, it's because you're behind in a certain area and maybe you just don't realize it. So here are a couple things why you might not be getting better. You might be at a phase where you're not moving the needle. And I would say the first thing that came to mind when I made up this list was I work with athletes every week. And sometimes I check in and I'm just like, hey, so that drill we worked on last week, how many times have you done it since we met last week? And some of the girls are like, oh, worked on it twice at home. I feel really good about it now. And then I'll have them show me at a lesson just to make sure, like, to see where they're at. Have they gotten better since they left me the last time? And the best players that I work with, they are putting in the work in between lessons. So are you a player that only puts in the work at lessons? If that's the case, you might progress week in and week out, but it's going to be a real long time before you really start seeing the needle move, okay? So that type of effort, like those people that are putting in 3 to 4 times a week, working on the things we worked on in a previous lesson, they're the ones who show up here and they're going to see a faster progression because they're working behind the scenes so that when they come and see me, when they come and work with me, they are being taught new things. They're not being taught what they learned last week, because what they learned last week was something where they were supposed to go home, take notes, and start doing that on their own, figuring themselves out so that I can teach them something new the following week. Too many times do I see athletes come in just once a week to work with me. And I'm telling you, you're going to get better. Like, you will, because the knowledge that I'm teaching you, whether I have to repeat it or not, it will stick. So, like, you will get better after time. But wouldn't you rather get better and at a faster rate? Like, if you're feeling stuck, maybe it's because you're not putting in the consistent work. And Let's Barrel Up said consistency is a life trait, not a sport trait. Absolutely. So if you're going to be consistent in the game of softball, by the way, you start working on that type of consistency, that's going to feed over into being consistent in the classroom. That's going to be tailoring over to consistency. Let's say you play the piano, you're going to be a little more consistent with that. It goes into every aspect of your life. So work hard on one, and you're going to elevate your game in every aspect of life. So yes, be consistent with it. So maybe you're only working hard once a week at lessons. Increase the amount of time you work per week. You will see a faster progression. Okay, so maybe you are the athlete that shows up. You do go to your team's practice twice a week. You do show up and you hit twice a week at home. But you're just kind of existing. And here's what I mean by this. When you work out, when you work on your game, if you are not consistently being intentional with the work that you're putting in, you will not see a very fast progression. You will be literally showing up, if you don't specifically care and put effort into every single swing that you're taking. I always talk about hitting, but this can go with defense, this could go with mental reps, this could go with anything. But if you're not there, if you're not intentional, if you're not trying to exceed your limits every time you're putting an effort into something, you are not growing at a fast pace that you would want. And that might be why you feel like you're standing still right now. That might be why you're not feeling like you're progressing very fast, because you're just existing. You're just showing up and you're putting in the work. Like, don't get me wrong, you're probably putting in the work, but you're not putting in the right work. You're not putting in the intentional work where you're going above and beyond on everything that you're given. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the one more rep mentality. Like, when you are putting in the work, and let's say you stink at the outside pitch, and you put up that tee, and you go through, I have a nine hitting zone routine. You want to hit 5 balls in each of the 9 zones. If you guys want to know more about that, I can talk about that later. DM me if you have questions. But if you hate the outside pitch, and you only hit the outside pitch as much as you hit the inside pitch, you haven't worked out as well as you could have. If you're really good at the inside pitch and not the outside pitch, you're still going to work on the inside pitch like you always have, but you're going to put in more work on the outside. If you don't like it, the way you get better at it, that sounds weird, that sounds really weird, is by putting in the work on the outside pitch. So you can't just say you're going to work on the inside pitch the same amount of reps you're going to work on the outside, even though you hate the outside, and expect improvements. You won't see them. You won't. You will, but you won't feel them as fast. If you can say, okay, every outside pitch that I work on, I'm going to put in 5 extra reps. 5 extra reps. Those 5 extra reps one day, and then the next day, and then the next day, every time that you do it, they add up. They say it takes like 10,000 reps for something to become a habit. Like, you put in the work, put in the reps, you're going to feel better about it. So if you're not being intentional with the training that you're doing, you won't see yourself grow as fast as you want. I hope that's resonating. If it is, give me some likes, give me some hearts. Just so I know that you guys, if that clicks or not. Also, if you guys have questions throughout this live at all, I want you to write a message in here, and I'll be able to read it and share it with the group, okay? I like ending with that. So the last 5 minutes, I plan on spending answering your questions. So if you have specific ones, shoot me a message. Okay, another reason why you might not feel like you're growing is, sorry, I thought I got paused or something, this is a huge one. I do camps and clinics, academies, all these things, and when players come up to me, like if I say, this is how you do a drill, do you have any questions? Go for it. I always try to encourage my athletes to not ask questions. Like, don't ask if they're doing it right, because there's always this player, and I don't know if this is your daughter, I don't know at all, like, because I've seen a lot of girls do this, but they're asking for my approval so much that they're taking away reps that they could be putting in at that time. What I mean is, let's say I give them a T drill, and I ask them, okay, do you have any questions on how to do the drill? They say no. I say, okay, go do it. And then all of a sudden they take 2 reps, and they're like, Ashley, am I doing this right? It's one of my pet peeves, because as a coach, if I see something wrong, I will not let you keep doing it unless, like, if you're doing it right, I will not say a word, because you're doing it right. Continue to do it. And if I see an issue, I'll be the first person to walk up to you and say, hey, great job, you're doing this part right, but this is a part that we can improve on. I'm going to show you how to do it differently. Like, so if you have a question on if you're doing it right, you probably are, unless the coach is stopping you. So keep doing it. You asking me if I'm doing it right just took 1 or 2 reps away from the actual work you could be putting in. So think twice when you ask all the time, did I do this right? Does this look right? It's a waste of time. It's a waste of time for you, and it's a waste of time for me because I already saw that you were doing it right, and now I have to respond and say, you're doing it right. I always tell my athletes when they're doing things right, and I'm always like, good. If I say good, you're doing it right. I will never say good if you're doing the drill wrong, okay? So, I mean, personally from a coach, yes, you want to tell your athletes when they're doing things right, but you don't always only want to be telling them, hey, you're doing it perfect, you're doing it perfect, you're doing it perfect. Because we have to be able to step in when they're not doing it right. So coaches, be intentional with where you're going to correct them. Because if you're always saying, oh, you're perfect, you're perfect, you're perfect, they're not being challenged. So our job is to find when they're not doing it right and right away making an impact on that. So when athletes are consistently saying, am I doing this right? Set the standard. Tell them, do not ask me if you're doing it right. I will tell you if you're doing it wrong. And that helps, lessons, camps, all of the things that I do go faster, go more efficiently. So don't waste reps on asking if you're doing the drill right. Okay? Don't do that. Here's another thing. If you feel like you're not getting better right now, understand what you're consuming on social media can give you that type of feeling where you don't feel like you're succeeding and you're not doing the best that you can. Social media, you guys are watching me right now. Social media is awesome, okay? Social media, when used in the right way, is awesome. But a lot of times I see young athletes comparing themselves. And so, when they're watching another athlete who just posted that she was hitting that night, and you decided this was going to be your night off, you don't want to hit, because you hit the night before, you're going to hit the next night. And then all of a sudden you see somebody else was hitting on your day off, and it makes you feel bad that you weren't putting in the work that day. I really hate the phrase no days off. I hate it because you always need time for days off. Your body cannot continue to work at the highest level it possibly can without days off. In college, coaches have to give you 1 day off a week. For that reason, your body has to recover. You have to recover mentally. So if you're taking a day off and somebody makes you feel bad because they're out training and you're not, to make yourself maybe sane, work on your mental game. You can still have a day off and relax and read a mental book, or relax and, work on your swing virtually with watching YouTube videos. You can get better without actually physically putting in the work. So do not shame yourself because you see somebody else is doing something better, or better. That's the thing. They're not doing something better. They're just putting out into the world that they're working hard. And here's the thing, if people are always posting that they're out putting in work, they're taking away time from their game too by posting it. I think the hardest workers are the ones who behind the scenes are putting in the reps, and then maybe once a month they're posting. Because, social media is huge. If college coaches maybe see you, that's kind of cool. But you should not be posting on social media every single day to try to show the world what you're up to. You should just be putting in the work regardless. Put your head down and do it, okay? Put your head down and do it. And when you're taking a day off, maybe don't look at social media. If you're looking at social media on your day off and you're feeling bad because you're taking a day off, there's a problem. You have to be so intentional with the days that you're putting in work to where when you're taking a day off, you gotta know that social media is gonna want to mess with you here and say, oh, you shouldn't be taking a day off, and it's gonna add some stress to your life. So stop watching what other people are doing and just do it. Just do what you need to do. Worry about yourself. Don't worry about other people. I think other people can inspire you, but do not look at other people in envy, okay? Don't do it, all right? If you think that looking at somebody who's putting in the work every single day, showing up on Instagram every single day, putting in the reps, it doesn't matter. That's their journey. That's their journey. It's not yours, okay? So if you're feeling bad about yourself because you're watching somebody else do something, you need to stop following them because it's going to hurt you, okay? I've literally done this. I still do this sometimes. Sometimes I show up on social media and I'm like, this person makes me feel bad about myself. And it takes me a while to realize it, but as soon as I do, I delete them because that's going to mess with me and think that I'm not bringing enough effort into my own game. So that's where I instantly just unfollow people. Or maybe just mute people. It's not about unfollowing, it's just about not seeing it, okay? So if you have to mute some people on social media every once in a while, do it. Because you're going to start putting in your own work and you're going to be like, wow, this was an awesome day. My team had an awesome practice. I'm going to post about it. And you're not posting about it to make other people jealous of you. You're posting about it because you're proud of your team, Okay? So look at the difference on social media. So if you feel like you're plateauing or you're not living up to the potential or standards of other people, maybe it's because you're looking at other people more than you're working on yourself. Okay? So that's another reason why you might be stagnant right now. Another reason why you might feel like you're not really moving the needle in your game. Are you blaming other people for the lack of your own success? This is one of my favorite scenarios. I have an athlete, and let's say she played this past weekend, her team won the tournament, awesome. The first thing she tells me, other than, oh yeah, we won, the umpire in the second to last game was absolutely atrocious, and he messed up a call, and it was awful. And I just sit there and I'm like, you won the whole tournament and you're complaining about an umpire right now. You're complaining about something you cannot control. It's an umpire, okay? You can't control the fact that he messes up or she messes up sometimes. They know when they mess up. A lot of umpires I respect, there are so many umpires out there that when they make a bad call, like, yeah, I'm going to be upset because I know that I'm right, but I can't spend my energy trying to argue that call when I should be putting in the energy to make up for it on the field. Your coaches are going to fight for you. So you shouldn't be putting in the energy, the negative energy that my player was giving me and saying, oh my gosh, this umpire made a terrible call. And sometimes the parents are also telling me this too. I don't really care. I do not care when an umpire screws up. Like, there will be times where obviously I do in a game, if it's life or death, that's very drastic, but if it's one of those situations that does make a huge turn on a game and an umpire screws it up, yeah, I'm going to express some emotions to my coach, but I will not express emotions to that umpire. That does no good for you or your team. It actually does the opposite, because umpires, they know when they mess up, okay? And most of them. Some of them are too arrogant to see it. But do not waste your energy on the things that you can't control. You cannot control how they call. You can't do it. And if you try to, you're gonna make yourself crazy. Coaches try to control that situation too. And coaches are supposed to fight for their players, but do not waste your energy doing that. If you think that your team lost a game because of an umpire's call, you're wrong. You're wrong. If an umpire messes up a call and you guys lose the game based on one of their calls, there were opportunities, I guarantee you, earlier in that game for your team to make up for it. There were opportunities where your team should have stood up and gotten that runner at third in with 0 outs in the 5th inning. Like, there were opportunities that you missed. It was not that call that made or break that game. Made or break? No, that's not the right phrase, but you guys know what I'm saying. So quit putting your energy, your negative energy, into things that you can't control and focus on the things that you could. Hey, that first at bat that you had when you struck out, that was an opportunity missed. Not the last call of the game where he called a strike 3 and you didn't swing, or no, that's not. Oh yeah, he called strike 3, you didn't swing at it, and it was this far off the plate. Okay? Do not leave that up to that umpire. You can't control that. You can't. You can't control that. So if you're going to waste your energy there, you're screwed. Okay? So that might be why you might feel like you're stagnant in your game. You're trying to say, oh, it's my bat. It's my bat. That's the reason why I didn't get a hit. It felt heavy today. Or let's say my bat, it just sounds kind of funny. Okay, I have hit broken bats before, and I have gotten hits with them. Okay? I have literally done that with a broken bat. So it's not the bat. It's literally this, but you're trying to blame it on something that you shouldn't be. Your bat is not the reason why you didn't get a hit. Okay? So quit blaming other things, other people, other things that you can't control on why you might not be succeeding right now. It's here. The reason why you're not succeeding is probably right here. Okay? So just own the fact that that's the case. Do some journaling, do some reflecting. Okay, it wasn't the umpire. What were the scenarios I should have stepped up in that game? How could I have done better that game? That's how you learn from your mistakes, and that's how you grow faster. Okay? The last one, I don't even know what time it is. Can you tell me what time it is?
7.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've already been talking. Oh, I did get on like 5 minutes late. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up though. I put in the phrase right here about blaming other things. The bat doesn't swing itself. Okay? That was basically the whole purpose of it's not the bat, it's you. Okay? The bat doesn't swing itself. You're the one swinging the bat. You're the one that made the mistake up there, not your bat. Okay? Not the umpire either. Got it? Okay, last one. If you are not moving the needle right now, Are you surrounding yourself with people that are better than you? I've done an entire live about this, but I'm super passionate about it. But you should have someone either on your team or, well, someone that does have a relationship with you in softball. But you should have someone who's keeping you accountable, okay? You should have somebody that they know what your dream is, they know what your goal is, and it's their job to make sure you're moving the needle, okay? And if that's your accountability, if you have an accountability buddy now, and they're okay with you skipping practice to go to the mall with your friends, or they're okay with you you saying that you're going to go hit on Tuesday and then you don't, if they're okay with it and they're just like, oh, it's okay, you deserve some rest, that is not who you want your accountability buddy to be. That should not be who it is. Your accountability buddy needs to be the one that gets on you when you don't do the things that you say you want to do. Got it? If people are always like, oh, it's okay, Ashley, like, you took the day off, I knew you really wanted to get that thing done, but you can always get it done tomorrow. The accountability buddy that I want is when I'm making excuses, they're like, get your head out of your butt, you're doing it right now, so we can go get some ice cream when you're done. Okay? That type of person is like, they don't take no for like an answer. They don't let me pass up on opportunities. Okay? So are you surrounding yourself with people or friends, or are your parents? I know there's a lot of parents on here. Make sure you are the ones that are always saying to people, to your kid, hey, you said you were going to do this and you haven't done it yet. Because as an athlete, I need someone to get on my butt when I'm not doing something that I need to be doing. So understand that you need somebody, you need people that believe in you, you need people that are going to hold you accountable when you try to talk yourself out of things in order to move the needle. So if you have friends that are always saying, it's okay, don't worry about it, you can always do it tomorrow, you can have those friends, but I'm telling you, you're not going to move the needle as fast as you want if those are your friends, if those are your teammates, okay? You want people that are going to push you. You're going to want people that are going to get you uncomfortable in situations because that's how you're going to move the needle, okay? All right, last thing, let's go with questions for I'll probably answer 2 questions a lot of people on Facebook are messaging. Let's see. What if you have, this was earlier, Jennifer Miller. What if you have a parent that is always comparing? Personal account. I think I did discuss this a little bit, but this one was probably about complaining about the uncontrollables. I don't know if this is personally or a girl on your daughter's team whose parents are complaining about the things. I think, Jennifer, if you are in the situation where you know another parent is complaining about things that they shouldn't be complaining about because it's taking away negative energy, or it's taking away the positive energy and replacing it with negative, I would say in that situation, you got to just be pushing the positive. You got to be pushing the positive. So, let's say an umpire screwed up a call to end the inning in the 6th inning. First of all, last time I checked, we do not play 6-inning games. We play 7-inning games. So if there is time left on the clock or you have some time left, you cannot spend that entire inning complaining about the past inning. You will not come out of that situation if that's what's happening. So if a parent's just like, wow, now we're going to lose the game because the umpire screwed the call, you got to jump in and be like, hey, we have an entire 3 outs to work with to make up for it. Let's go. Let's figure it out. Because if parents and coaches are complaining to the umpires about the bad call the entire time, one, the umpire is not in the best state to be able to put in his best effort the last inning when you could come back and win. Okay? You got to understand people make mistakes, and there are ways, there's normally time for you to make up for it. So let's say the umpire screwed up the call at the bottom of the 6th, and it felt like you just know he was wrong or she was wrong. You have to be able to jump in. Like a parent says, wow, now we're going to lose. You're going to jump in. You're going to say, no, we have an opportunity to still win. It's okay. We got this. There is a way around this. Let's figure it out. Okay? Everything is figure-outable. My girl Marie Forleo just came out with a book called Everything is Figure-Outable. Everything is. Okay? So if there is still time on the clock for things to happen, you got to push positivity. You got to push it and be like, here we go. Be the optimistic one. Okay? Because you can't control how other people say things. You can't control their negativity. But you can control your positivity. So I would say, somebody confronts you with negativity or the umpire's negativity, be like, it's fine. We got this. We got 3 more outs to work with to score 2 runs. Let's do it. Let's do it. So get behind the positivity. That's a good one. Let's see. I think I saw another question earlier. Stop asking for approval. Heck yes. Okay, maybe that's all people said. Okay. Funny video about blaming equipment. Oh, Travis Andrews. So if you go onto Facebook, Travis put a video of a parent blaming equipment on the reason why their daughter's not playing well. I'm assuming. I need to watch the video since it's over. Okay, I answered one question. I went over in time already, but y'all are amazing. Team's about to go to dinner, and I'm pretty pumped because for the first time since we got to Italy 3 days ago, I'm actually hungry. We've been eating our way through Europe, so I've been eating way too much pasta and pizza, but I'm totally fine with it. Just got to fit into this dress for a wedding next week. It'll happen. But I want you guys to finish your Monday. It's only like halfway through Monday, really, for everybody in Indiana right now. But push positivity. I think I end like every live saying this, but the last question that was just asked inspired me to say this. Do whatever it takes to be the positive one in the situation. If you end your day, if you spend the rest of the day pushing positivity, not pushing, but when you see negativity, transforming it into positive, everything happens for a reason. If something bad happens to you today, it's probably supposed to be happening to you for some reason. So look at it in that light and jump on how you can make that a positive situation with whatever happens to you for the rest of the day. And if you do that, it'll carry into tomorrow, okay? So last thing, start your day with positivity. Work on trying to extend it as long as you possibly can. Shoot, we're exhausted here, but we're having an absolute blast. We are exhausted. We've been walking around. We've been probably spending too much money on things that we probably don't need, but it's fine. It's Europe. And we're exhausted, but the thing is, this is an experience that we're going to have for the rest of our lives. So no matter if we're tired or whatever, we're going to show up every single day and get the most out of it. So you can do that too. Even though a lot of you were like, I'm so jealous, I wish I was there. You have your own Rome at home right now. You have your own ice cream shop that you absolutely love that can be like our gelato right now. Like, go and do something for yourself after you have an amazing day. Treat yourself when you do something amazing. Do all the things. Like, I know you may not be in Europe with us, but you have your own type of Europe at home. So I hope you guys embrace that. I hope you guys crush the day and celebrate at the end of the day because you just put in your best work. Okay. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me on a Monday. You're going to see a lot more posts on social media from the trip because we're having a blast. But I'll see you next Monday. I have no idea what the topic's going to be, but I'll see you at 2 p.m. Eastern next Monday.